Okay, let's finish this out. It's been exhausting. Okay, so if we've got 40, 40 is y is equal to 2 sine of 2/3 x minus pi over 6. That is fine. So we wanted to get it into some sort of a nice form. Well, what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is factor out that 2/3. And dividing by 2/3 is the same as multiplying by 3/2. So I'm going to take this term and multiply by 3/2. I get x. I take this term and multiply by 3/2. I get negative 3 pi. So if I take pi over 6 and multiply by 3/2, you get 3 pi over 12, which is pi over 4. Right? So notice what we did. We divided by 2/3, which is the same as multiplying by 3/2. So this times 3/2 just gets us x. And then pi over 4 times 3/2 just gets us 3 pi over 8. No, sorry. It's pi over 6. So pi over 6, which is this, times 3/2 over here, like we said, gets us pi over 4. Okay. So now we're ready. I think the only other thing to recognize is that it's plus 0. So our k is equal to 0, our h is equal to pi over 4, b is equal to 2/3, and a is equal to 2. So as we said often, we've said that math is about, a lot of math and science is about form. I think that's a beautiful form there. We can see that the amplitude is 2. The period is 2 pi divided by 2/3. That's the same as 2 pi times 3/2. Cancels out and you get 3 pi, right? But then the step size is going to be period cut into 4 pieces. So that cut into 4 pieces is 3 pi over 4 is how big each step is going to be. And now we're ready to chart. So x, and then my function is 2 sine 2/3 x minus pi over 4. Not ridiculous. So now we're going to have our starting value. And so our starting value, as we said, is pi over 4. So since our h is pi over 4, that's a shift. It's a shift right, pi over 4. This is saying that the midline is at y is equal to 0. That's telling you about the period, and this is telling you about the amplitude. So if we start off at pi over 4, then we're going to have pi over 4 plus 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and 4 steps. So if we add, if each step is 3 pi over 4, then that's beautiful because it has the right denominator to make our math easy, right? Does everybody see what we've done? We have said, look, here's your starting value, just like we did for the easy examples, plus the same step every time. So I think it's clear that we start off at pi over 4. We get 3 pi's over 4 plus 1 pi over 4 is 4 pi over 4. We get 2 times 3 is 6 pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is going to be 7 pi over 4. We get 3 times 3 is 9 pi over 4, plus a pi is 10 pi over 4. And then, let's see, if I take 4 times 3 is 12 pi over 4, plus a pi over 4, gives me 13 pi over 4. And there's our steps. And then when we look over here, this is our old sine values. So what are our old sine values? We've got what? 0, 0, 1, 0, negative 1, and 0. we take all those old values and multiply by 2. Excuse me, we get 0, 2, 0, negative 2, and 0. There you go. And just from there we graph. So let me see. When we do that blee blah blue, what do we have? We've got, let's graph that thing. Again, from our steps, I start off at pi over 4. And I take 1, 2, 3, 4 equal size steps. End up at 4 pi over 4, because each step is 3 pi over 4. I go to 4, 7, 10, and 13. And yes, we could simplify some, but I think it just helps to see it. Then we know that the midline is 0, so we start off at 0, and we have the points 0, 2, 0, negative 2, and 0. Because our midline is 0, but we go up an amplitude of 2 in both directions, so we see that we have 2 at top, negative 2 at bottom, and our graph looks something like this. Okay. All right. Actually, I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to write just a little bit on 42 so that you see it. So let's see. For 42, I'll just kind of tell you what the function is and let you do the rest. For 42, it's y is equal to 1 plus cosine of 3x plus pi over 2. I want to understand what that looks like. So to put it in a better form, I'm going to make it cosine 3x plus pi over 2 plus 1. And then I'm going to factor out that 3. We want the coefficient on x to be 1 so that we can really see what h is. Well, if you factor out 3, that's the same as dividing by 3. So 3x divided by 3 is x. And don't forget, dividing by 3 is the same as multiplying by a third. So I'm going to take 3x and hit it with a third, and I get x. And I'm going to take pi over 2 and hit it with a third. I'm going to get pi over 6. So this is going to be plus pi over 6. So now, if I put a 1 here, I think it's clear that a is equal to 1, b is equal to 3, h is equal to negative pi over 6, and k is equal to 1. So our midline is 1. Our amplitude is 1. So that means if our midline is 1 and our amplitude is 1, then that means we go up 1 to 2 and down 1 to 0. I'm going to oscillate in between those. I'm going to start off at a negative pi over 6, right? And then we're going to take, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. And we're going to have this, 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 this. And so I'll leave you to find the rest of it. Yeah, because again, from there you can find the amplitude, you can find the period, and you can find the step size. So rock it out. Have a great one.